right, welcome back to another stream. Today is Thursday on a Thursday afternoon, and we'll be working today on this live stream. We'll be learning geometry nodes. Geometry nodes is my weakest subject on Blender, but geometry nodes is popular and people like it and people want to know about it. So this stream is going to be pretty chilled out today because I will not be able to explain everything I do in geometry nodes, and I'm mostly going to be experimenting. Mostly going to be kind of like a hangout stream. So that's that. And if you want any of my project files for any of my live streams, I do about 8 a month. You definitely check out my Patreon. Thank you. The links are below. All right. So Ferd, good day, Grease Monkey. Good day, you fellow Grease Monkey, Ferd. Good to see you. For you to be here. You attended both of my streams now, Tuesday and now today, Thursday. So I appreciate you being here. Good to see ya. There we go. I'm still getting set up here. Feeling good. Got my coffee. Get the Discord. Good stuff. Alright. Alright. So today, once again, we'll be doing geometry nodes. And we're going to be building out a scene, or at least trying to. Let me say the word trying in front of everything. We're going to be trying to build out a scene so we can try and get something by the end of this video. So we can try to learn more about geometry nodes. So we can try to understand how this works. So we can stumble and struggle through the creation process and scratch our heads on why something works and why something doesn't, and not understand, because geometry nodes can be hard. So one of my Patreons wanted me to figure out how to do geometry nodes and specifically do environments. I think this is from Game of Thrones. I have not watched Game of Thrones, and I am particularly not interested in Game of Thrones, but I will do the task because, because I don't like the show doesn't mean I don't like the aesthetic or the work that I have to do in Blender to make it. So we have this image that he sent, and we're the first thing we're going to try and tackle, because I think it's the only thing we're going to be able to tackle right now, is something that's relatively controllable with making like this cityscape stuff. There's 100 tutorials on geometry nodes on how to make the city, but we're gonna do it my way. There's definitely better ways to do what I'm about to do, and if you want everything explained, definitely just Google geometry nodes city, and you're gonna get the tutorial that you want. It's out there. It exists already. So disclaimer. So yeah, so we're gonna start building this out, and see how far we can go with it, and then start building out all the other parts. This is gonna take 100 times longer than if I would have just to model it out simply. But the power of geometry nodes is that I will be able to reuse the tool and apply it to different things. And once you understand and know the tools of geometry nodes, it's still going to take you longer than just modeling it out straight up, but you can do it a lot faster and it is reusable. Just know that doing it the geometry nodes way is the long way. We are taking the very long way to do this, but we want that customizability. That's what we want, right? So let's go at the top. Let me maximize this screen. We are going to go into one of our layouts at the top here called geometry nodes. Very cool. We are not going to need this spreadsheet, so we're just going to put an image up here, or the image of the the 3D viewport. Let's set up some things. I should just have this set already. I always do the same settings every stream. Let me take off some of this stuff. There we go. We're going to move this up. We're just setting up our camera right now, so we got something that we can use. There we go. And we're going to keep our image out here on the left. Okay. All right. Let's start figuring this out. So I'm going to click on the cube. We're going to move that into its own collection. We'll just call this city. Or no, let's just call it buildings. Buildings. Good stuff. For the object, I'm just going to call it geonodes for now. Until we figure out something better. So there we go. Right now we have the cube in here. We definitely don't need any geometry in here, so I'm just going to go in and just delete the geometry. We don't need it. Nothing's in here. It's an empty. The first thing I want to do is, looking at the city, it looks like while it is sporadic, it's not like super random. It does seem to be like a grid-like fashion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a grid, and then I'm going to displace the grid very slightly to give it some variation, and then maybe add in a few other things so that they don't intersect and it looks okay. So we're going to use like a base. We're going to start with a grid. Let's start it with a grid, okay? So let's go and let me hit my, do I have my screencast keys on? There they are. All right, so let's set up a mesh primitive. We're going to do Shift A. And we're going to be using Shift A a lot. So a mesh primitive, we're going to do a grid. Let's bring that guy in there. There's our grid. For the sake of visibility, I'm going to go into the object properties, go to viewport viewport display. Jesus. And do wireframe so we can see the wires. I'm going to take off some of this stuff here. And now we can see the wires, the wireframe of our grid here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the size bigger. Let's say this is a big old city. Let's say it's 100 meters by 100 meters. So it's huge. It's huge. We got a huge old place here. So that's good. And then we're going to increase the vertices. And something I want to do is generally this is going to be the same. So I'm going to do an input value. And this is where I lose track of where all this stuff is. I don't know where this is. I'm gonna just type in value under the search, and we're gonna put that in there. There we go. Oh, does that not work? Oh no, it's because I don't have the number. There you go. There you go. So that always stays the same, and I can change the value, and it works, and it feels good. The next thing I'm going to do is, and I learned this from a default cube tutorial recently, but if you add in a thing called dual mesh, let's see if we could just find it. There it is. Under mesh, we'll go to dual mesh, and it doesn't do what I thought it would do. Let's see. Oh, we have to triangulate. That's right. And then, so we have to triangulate. So let's find that. There it is. And we got like this honeycomb pattern, and that's pretty neat. This is gonna help me get some variation on the cubes there. So we got our input that What's interesting is that this input is a float. Can I make it to an integer? Can we just have an integer? Can I type in the word integer? Oh, you can. It has its own thing. So yeah, we're gonna do integer instead of this float value, just because. Just because. why? Why not? Right? So we will add in the integer. So we got that. Once again, I learned this from like a default cube tutorial. I think it was the rock one. He's very good. He's very good. He's a goddamn professional. So yeah, so we're gonna triangulate. We're gonna do a dual mesh. This time we make honeycombs, and then I'm gonna do an instance on points. And through this, while I'm doing this live stream, guys, there's gonna be a point in time that I might explain less, and it's because I'm getting into the forest of the realm I don't understand. So let's do instances on points. And honestly, you know, if anybody's in the chat right now, right, can you tell me what the difference between instances on points and instances to points, and what the difference between those are? I could definitely Google this, but wouldn't it be nice if somebody just told me why? So, we're gonna do instances on points. Obviously, it goes away because it's not instancing anything. So for a what was I gonna say? For a placeholder, let's use a primitive mesh cube. Put that under instances. There we go. So we got a bunch of cubes now, all placed in that on the faces. On the faces. Pretty straightforward. So let's keep it going. All right. So there's a couple things I want. We're gonna leave them 2 by 2. Okay. There's a couple things I want to figure out here, and that is these instances are instancing on. What is a shortcut? Oh my god, is this it? No. I want what's the shortcut to be able to see? There it is. It's Shift Alt left click, so I could see the different things that are happening here. Okay, there we go. So right now we're instancing a mesh on the faces here. So I'm gonna do a distribute points. Let's do that. You know, it's somewhere in here, right? I'm gonna just type it in. I'm gonna search. I'm always gonna search for it first. There it is. Points. Distribute points on faces. And let's do that. So let's put that in between. Now that looks ridiculous. So let's put the density down. There we go. So we have something more sporadic. The only thing I eventually want to figure out is all this intersection stuff. Because if these buildings are intersecting, they're not gonna help me. So let's do poison disc, poison disc. I don't know what that is, guys. And we'll bring, instead of doing random, we're doing this. Because I think it may work better, but what do I know, right? And then we can put the factor down. There we go. The only thing about this, right, is like this is, like I said, it's more in a grid fashion. So, let's take away the dual mesh stuff. You're a Gina GM. You can make marine. We'll see, Kelly. We'll see. I appreciate the super chat, but I think you're hyping me up a little too much. But I appreciate it though. It's a strong hype you got going on. All right, let's see if we'll do, instead of doing distribute points, let's do grid. Like I said, there's more of a grid pattern here. We'll figure out the different sizes later. We'll do that by doing like a collections or something. Let's lower this, and let's make the size bigger. So let's make the size a little bigger there. Okay, cool. Okay, and then one thing I want to do is I want to randomize, kind of like scatter this grid so it's not so perfect. So I'm going to do a set points, set position, I mean, set position. We're going to put that there, and then we're going to, in the offset, the Blender doc online says instance to points node generates points at the origins of the top level instance. Attributes on the instance domain are moved to the point cloud points. That's a good explanation, and I love it, but I barely understand it. Kelly says, "Slap those nodes like Will Smith did Chris Rock." Can we stop bringing that up? But yes, thank you for the super chat. We will put those nodes on here. Okay. We'll put the nodes. Hold on. I'm gonna read what Ferd said again. Instance 2 points generates points at the origins of the top level instance. Attributes on the instance domain are moved to the point cloud points. Yeah, I'm not I'm like reading it and they're just like words at this point. but yeah. Anyway, so we want to move this grid because we have this grid going on here. It looks a little bit like not perfectly even. So we're going to do a set position on our points and we're going to do a texture. Yeah. Once again, there's people watching here. If you guys know a better way of explaining it, write it in the chat. But we're just going to keep going. I'm going to use a texture, and I'm going to use a Musgrave texture. And then I'm going to do also a combined XYZ, because I only want to affect the X and the Y, so we'll put that there. Nothing changed in the offset. That was a text from the manual. Yeah, the text from the manual is probably written by like an actual genius. So let's affect the positioning of the X and the Y. And you can see that we can really move this. It kind of like move them along the way. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's organize this. So we got our cube, we got our instance points, we got our grid, which we are displacing and whatnot. And it looks decent. The only issue with me right now is, can I get it? Can I get it to be more extreme? So let's do a vector math. Would that work? Let's see. We're just testing stuff now. We're getting into the forest. We're going to do a vector math. And then we're going to do multiply. And we'll see about multiplying. Okay, this is a little stronger. So that's good. And then I'm going to put a value node. Input value. Because we're just going to do them on... Oh, no. Do we have to do another combine? We may have to do another combine. There we go. There we go. Alright. And we can displace this a little better or a little stronger. So that's... You know, we're causing some displacement here. Which could work. So let's put the scale down. Let's see. The scale. Alright. There's obviously going to be intersections, and we're just going to have to deal with it until I figure out a better way to do this. So right now, there we go. We got our grid. We also don't want it to be perfect. And by perfect, I mean like, we don't want it to be on every instance points. So let me organize some of this stuff. So we got the instance points, endpoints. We got the cube that's being instanced. We got the grid, and the grid is being controlled here. Very good. Very, very good. We'll get the multiply. We'll get the combine node. Yeah, this is already getting complicated. Get the combined nodes there. We'll make this, we'll make this into one reroute, holding shift there. And then we'll put the Musgrave texture. Then we're going to see about instancing the point by selection. I don't know if I should do it on set points or instance to points. So let's do it on both. Let's do it on instance to points first. We're going to just create another Musgrave texture and then just add it onto the selection. There we go. So this is pretty cool. It kind of like gives me different variations of the points or the cubes. Very cool. Instead of a Musgrave, let's do a wave texture. So we can cut out lines. Let's see. So it could be like streets. I think this is how this works. So let's go to selection. Nope, that's not how. This factor. Alright, so this is not working the way that I think it is. Maybe why? We're gonna put 0. I thought this would work. Maybe it should be under the set points. And this is why geometry nodes are so fun. You get to solve problems. Hopefully it's good stream content. As you just see me here diligently thinking. I'm gonna add in a... Is there a texture coordinate on here? I'm thinking in terms of like... This is how Griezmann handles business with them nodes. Yeah, barely handling business, Kelly. Barely. Barely handling it. Alright, so we're going to do usually there's like a texture coordinate. I mean, like I said, I'm thinking in terms of like materials. So are there coordinates? Maybe color ramp? Hold on, let me... Okay, how come Musgrave textures work? Oh, it's because it gives me a height. Because I want stripes. This is what I want. So let's see if any of this changes. Anything? Or X, Z, Y, diagonal. I thought this would give me something. Maybe an instance index. This doesn't do anything. Okay, we got rotation. We'll if this is failing me, we'll keep going. I did. So let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, still not working the way that I thought it would work. Usually in materials, this will make like a stripe pattern. And then it will cut lines. It should cut lines out. But right now, it's not doing it for me. Is it factor? Put the ramp between the texture and the XYZ. Let's see. Okay, this is getting better. But I have it under rotate right now. So I need it under selection. The selection is what I want to work. Definitely works for rotate, right? So like, you know, I can definitely pick and choose. Kind of makes like a weird pattern though. It doesn't make the predictable stripe pattern that I wanted. Looks fun though. It's blinking on me. Boo. Okay, let me think of this. Let me think of something here. Let's do the Musgrave texture again. Let's put that in. Put that into the selection. Oh, my Musgrave doesn't work though? What the hell? Okay, so the Musgrave works. Does it work under 2D? It does. You can view the wave texture as if you were doing the material. Can you? No. So I don't think so. Like, if I had the wave, this is not like a material node. You know what I mean? So why would it? It wouldn't, right? Let me see. Yeah, just left click. Usually you have to like hold Alt, hold Alt and Shift and left click, and you can see the stuff. This isn't materials, so it's not gonna let me view because this is geometry nodes. It's only gonna show me geometry stuff. So, yeah, would be cool to see the output. Right, right. Yeah, it would be cool, cause you know what the selection is, right? From my understanding, is that there's an index on all these guys. And in these indexes, the numbers are being chosen from the noise texture and stuff. And I thought I guess it would work the same way. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna have to deal. We'll do it with the Musgrave. Let's see what other textures would work. Let's see gradients. Does gradient work? What's interesting is gradient works. Look at that. If I put a ramp. Or color ramp. Oh wow! So it literally the color stuff doesn't matter. I think it just has to do with the coordinates. So let's do an input, a vector input, vector. Let's input a vector here. We'll do it with gradient since I can see it better. We'll go to gradient. We'll input it, and then we'll put the vector here. And then we can set this. Okay, that doesn't make any sense either. I guess it's either on or off, right? 0 or 1. Okay, so that's not working the way that I thought it would. What if I put in position? And I put the position in here. Okay, so the position works. What if we did a math node, vector math? Would any of these work? Normalize. Okay, see, this isn't working the way that I thought would work. Unfortunately. Okay, so for now, we'll just do it this way. We'll just use a Musgrave. Is there a transform node I can do? Let's see. Transform. That's geometry. Transform attributes. I guess that's an attribute. Okay. All right. What's interesting is that nothing else works. It's just the scale. Oh no, not the scale and the larceny. Larcenity. Oh, now detail works. Look at that. I'm gonna put everything 0, so it makes sense to me. Alright, and if I put a color ramp here, could I have affected it? Or does that not work? Yeah, see, this doesn't... Oh, it does, it does. Ugh! I don't like it. I wish it was like in like street views and not like just random like this. That's why the wave texture would open perfect. Let's do Verone. See how this works for us. Okay, so not even... Oh, Verone works. And the corners. You see the corners flickering? Interesting. Boo. I don't understand. Musgrave. What if I did noise? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Checkered? Would checkered work? Wouldn't it be great if it worked? Oh, it works here. But it doesn't look like checkers to me. It still looks like a Musgrave thing. Oh, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see the checkered. Okay, so what if we bring this to dark? Okay, so these colors don't even matter. They don't even matter. Let's do a math and figure out if it's something that we can add to. Nope. How about multiply? Multiply. Is it power? So it's either on or off. You know what I mean? How about let's do a curve. A float curve. Where is that? Float curve. Your artist minds will bring the ancient geese city of Game of Thrones to life. I don't know what that is, Kelly, but I hope it does. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is not... I don't understand what's happening. So let's just do Musgrave for now. And let's figure out a different issue. Let's put that one on hold for now. Until I can figure out... Because, okay, let me figure out one thing. Integer... Oh my god, is it under index? Alright, this is weird. I thought this would work. I thought this would like erase some of it. Alright, let's put this here. This is also on and off. I don't get it. I don't get it. Alright, so maybe not. We'll go and we'll put the selection. We'll figure out a different problem. For now, we'll swing back to this. So let's... Let me do a compare real quick. I'm just curious what happens here. All right, so this comparison node is helping me. How about equal to? You can really control it with this, at least. Greater or less than. Will the Verone, well not the Verone, will the wave texture work through here? Ah, still doesn't look like a wave texture. It makes it work though. So that's a plus. It just still looks the same as like the Musgrave texture. I have no idea what's happening, man. What's interesting is this guy right here doesn't even change. This guy in the middle. You change it, he's like, whoa. Oh, there he's gone. There he's there. Gone. Very interesting. Okay. Let's... All right, let's do this a different way. All right, so I'm gonna put this over here on the side. We're gonna erase this guy. Let's do it a different way. Let's think. Let's put our minds together. See, guys? Geometry knows. It's the process. It's life. You come with a bunch of problems of things that you don't understand. You try to think about it. It's kind of like solving a Rubik's Cube with no instructions. Yes, I know that you can solve a Rubik's Cube with the algorithm and like the certain moves. But if nobody teaches you those moves, how do you solve a Rubik's Cube? You sit there and you keep trying and trying and trying and trying until you're in your 80s, you're in a home, and you peel off the stickers, and then you stick them together, and you just tell everybody you solved it. It's not cheating if nobody knows you cheated. Alright, let's do it a different way. I'm talking a whole lot of schmack over here. Let's make a primitive. And let's make a primitive line. Let's do that first. This is how we're going to do it first. Let's go look at it. Let's look at it. Let's take a gander at it. Cool. I want it to be going on the y-axis. So I'm going to choose the y-axis, and I'm going to choose 1. There we go. And, you know, we can change the length and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So then what I want to do is I want to instance an object. Let's do that. Instance on points, right? That's what it was. On points. And I'm going to instance some lines. Let's instance the lines. And I want this line to be facing... So let me rephrase that. I want to go on the x-axis. And then I want these lines to face on the y-axis. There we go. So here are our lines. We're counting. You know, whatever. And then we got these 2 lines. This is a grid essentially. So let's bring this. And we will make another instance. Will that work? And we'll make it a mesh, a primitive mesh, which will be the cube. Cube instance. Okay, we're getting somewhere. My only gripe right now is that they're evenly spaced apart, which I guess is fine, but can we change instead of the offset endpoints? Let's see. Okay, there we go. We can get this stack here. All right. Also, maybe I should change this one to endpoints. There we go. All right, we're back to a grid. All right, so there are a couple of things I can do here. I'm going to tear my hair out. That's number 1. Become bald. Get a sponsorship that helps bald men. I'm not going to mention their name because I'm not sponsored by them, but maybe one day I will. We'll do, I want to randomize the location of some of these, so let's do set positions. And we'll do it of the second one first, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll add in a texture. We'll add in a noise texture. So let's go to texture, noise, and let's put that in the offset. Connect it. And I don't want it to be on the z-axis, so let me do a combined XYZ. And we'll just connect both of these guys here. We'll make this bigger. And unfortunately, it doesn't do it to the first line. Not sure about why. Maybe there's a reason. Would a Musgrave texture be better? It doesn't seem to be moving the way that I think that it should. Okay, so let's do it the same thing on this one. We will just copy everything, put it on the offset, do another Musgrave texture, and then we will do it both on the X and the Y. Okay, this is looking a little better. It's looking dumb, actually, in my opinion, but better. The only thing that's getting me right now is that first row does not give an F. It's not moving. We can solve that later. What's great is that these are all on the grid. They're all fine. Whatever. They got some different placements. They're not really super hitting each other, which I think is good. They do kind of look predictable though, but it's better. We can always separate these a little more. Get them close. I wasn't lying on the thumbnail, struggling through geometry nodes. This is the action. This is the juicy action everybody's excited to see. Me looking at cubes flutter in the sky. Okay, so this is looking much closer to what I want to achieve. Just kind of cool. Much closer. Okay. This looks like it can be something. Alright, so we got this going on. It's looking good. Also, what if we just did both of these? What if just one texture messed with both of them? Okay, see, maybe we'll do one texture. We'll leave this guy in here for now, though. We'll save. And we'll contemplate about our life again. It's already 45 minutes in, and I feel like I haven't done crap. Okay, so we're here. We got the lines. It's looking better. We can definitely control the distance here, so that's cool. We can scrunch them up a little bit more. Doesn't look like they super intersect and stuff, so that's like, I guess, cool. So we'll stumble along. Nodding it large. Nodding it large. Spitfire, good to see you. Glad you can make it here on the stream. This is the more laid back stream where I'm just yelling at my screen because I'm not super proficient at this stuff. So it's very just me here just screaming. I'm not like screaming in the microphone, but I am very much screaming internally. It's pretty terrible. Okay, so I think this is a lot closer than what we wanted, which is good. Now, what I want to do, let me extend these out further, like this. There we go. And let's look at it through the camera here. Also, let's always gotta fix these camera rules. There we go. There we go. All right. We're getting a little closer to what we want. Once again, what I always say about this, and I haven't figured out, is the intersection stuff. Like, stuff's gonna intersect, and I just feel like I have no control over it. But maybe somebody out there will eventually tell me how to do it. But it's looking alright right now. Okay. So we got kind of what I wanted. It's more linear to make it look like there's some thought process put into these buildings. They're spread apart. And okay. So now what we can do is we can add some more spottiness to it. So let's get this Musgrave texture and put it under the selection over here. And this acts in a way that I have no idea what is happening. I know something's happening. I know work is happening. Maybe it should go on the second one here. Okay, let's see. Alright, so this is interesting here. Alright, let's use a modulo. You guys know who modulo is, right? I'm just kidding. I barely know what it is. We're going to go into the math node, go to modulo, and then we're going to shove that in here. And I thought I knew what this was going to do, and it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. Or is it here? Put it over here. Let's put a random value. Alright, I thought that would do something as well. It obviously does not. I'm obviously just plugging things in left and right. Okay. What if I put a random in the selection? Alright. I have the set points. Is there like a delete geometry? Like delete points? Alright, so this is maybe what I want. So let's continue to dive into this complicated mess and delete points. I think that's what I want. We're going to delete points. We'll shove it in here. And we will select a Musgrave texture. Let's see if that works. Alright, that's not where we want to put it. We want to put it after this first instance. So put this guy here. Spitfire says, "To Fur, did you see Dune? I recall they mentioned briefly in the books. Did you like the film?" I think he did. We talked about it yesterday. I think he did. He did. Random value. I still gotta watch it, dude. Boo. Boo on me. Alright, so we're gonna delete this previous thing here. We're gonna figure out what is happening. The first time I watched it, I wasn't in a good mood, so I watched it again. And on the second viewing, what really struck me was the sound design. Spitfire. I love the cinematography with the commitment to massive shapes. It looks good. Big old massive shapes. Alright, let's make a new collection. We'll call this generator. We'll call this buildings. And they use sand screens instead of green screens. So there is no nasty color spill. Nice. Alright, we're gonna make a couple of buildings in. So let's take away the generator. Let's make a couple buildings here. I just need them to have different looks real quick. So let's bring this up one. We'll call this buildings. .000. Yeah, I really liked it. They messed up one of my favorite moments, but I can forgive them. Overall, it was an excellent adaptation. A surprising amount of practical effects too, like the vibrating sand. Damn, this is sounding good. Alright, let's make a couple of these here. So we're gonna go to face mode, inset. We'll bring this here. We'll cut it 2 ways. Or 3 ways, and then we'll cut it 3 ways this way. So we got some stuff going on here. Now let's do it 5 ways. Or 4 ways. Bam. 2, 3, 4. Bam. 2, 3, 4. Bam. Okay. Alright, cool. So we got like kind of like a basic shape here. This will be building 1. We'll copy this a few times. Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. We'll do 5 buildings. And we'll make them all different a little bit. So we'll give some windows here. And we will do it for all of them. We will do along the faces. Boom. Okay. Very cool. We'll do the next building. Maybe this building has, you know, a couple of massive windows. We can always fix these later. Tis alright. Tis alright. And we'll go along the normals. Go. I'm also going to bring this sun. And for funsies, let me make sure that the background has like an HDRI. So it at least looks decent. I get it from HDRI Haven. Go. We will do an outside one like the nice blue sky. Orange sky maybe. Do I have an orange sky? Orange. Maybe we'll just do blue though. Doesn't have to be orange. We'll do this one. We'll take down the light from the outside, and we'll also make this background invisible. There we go. Do we even need the sun at this point? No, I guess we do. You'll have to go watch the Don't Bad Lip Reading video. Oh, I saw that. I actually wanted to see it, but I'm like, I didn't watch Dune. Alright, where was I? Okay, we got our buildings looking okay. Let's put ambient occlusion in here. Call it a day there. Okay, so we got that building. And maybe this guy. Maybe this guy's a little taller. And this guy has a bigger rim. And then we'll do the third guy. Let's see. We'll give him a little trim here. We'll bevel that out. Give it kind of like a rim. And also maybe like a door. Like, why not? Front and back. Maybe these stick out at the edge. I recall Kev Binge did something like this to reproduce Mos Espa from the Book of Boba Fett. Nice. Definitely gotta watch that video. Cause I'm just going, baby. We're just a ragtag crew here. Go from there. Alright, last building. Cut it down the middle. Inset it. Cut it down the middle here. You know, easy stuff. This is building stuff. No problemo. Also, let's add in just a couple of stuff at the top here. Also, what happened to the top of this building? Look at that. Oh my god. Let's bring this up. Because I don't know what happened. And this will probably add in some intrigue here. Inset, maybe something sticks out like that. Same thing with the rest of these. Let's make them have some stuff stick out. Same thing. Doesn't have to be a lot. Boom box center. Okay. We got our buildings. Now let's make it so that's what we spawn. This is how GM is gonna take over Westeros. I don't know what Westeros is, Kelly. Who's Westeros? Where can I meet Mr. or Mrs. Westeros? Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. Let's get the generator here. I can't wait to see how you tweak your toon shader to match the colors of the city. Well, I can't wait to see you tweak this the toon shader to see what you make. All right, let's get this cube gone, and let's do collection info. Let's choose the collection buildings. Let's do separate children and reset or whatever relative, and then we'll do the instance. And to see what type of mess this has created, we'll do pick instance. And it looks kind of like garbage. Alright, let's see if we can randomize the scale. Scale instances. No, we're going to do random. We'll do a random value. And we'll make it a vector. And we'll just do one of these. And obviously it's all sorts of weird here. We're going to make it they look so funny. Like, what is happening here? Alright. This looks like a sci-fi city. How do I get it to stop stretching? Let's see. So we'll do 0 to 1. But if we did 0 to 0, it'll just do 1. From 1 to 1. What is happening? Are these set correctly? They are. Alright, all the scales are correct. And it looks weird, to say the least. Alright, let's do a random value. Let's do a vector math. Vector math. This doesn't look as random as I want it to be. And I actually don't know what to do here. Separate children. Yes. Reset. Yes. Would a distribute points be better? Marine is an ancient holder from the Empire of the Great Geese in the Game of Thrones world. What is an ancient holder? What is an empire of the geese? And are they duck related? Are there feathers involved? And who is Marine? What princess is she? Is Marine a pretty princess? Alright, this is not working the way I want it to work. Alright, we'll distribute the points on the face. We'll do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you're not the only one. I quite enjoy the books. Oh yeah, I've never read them. Never even seen the show. And now, I don't think I'll ever see the show. Oh my god, what is happening? What is this? Still too soon. Hold over. This is insane what's happening on my screen. There's literally like... I actually don't know what's happening. Great Geese was an ancient empire similar to Greece or Rome. Okay. That makes sense. All right, let's organize these again. Figure out what I'm feeling here. Should be points. All that can go away. Anyone watch Legend of Vox Machina? I have not watched Legend of Vox Machina. What is that? The Geese Empire was destroyed by the Valerians because the Valerians had dragon. So are the Valerians from that movie Valerian? I'm joking around. Animated series based on D&D Adventure of Critical Role, if I'm recalling. No, have not seen it. Any good? Would you recommend? Heck yes. It's hilarious. Well done and well voiced. Hold on. Maybe my friend mentioned this. Oh no, different one. Marine was one of the few cities like Astapor and Yudkanai that survived the fall of the Geese Empire. It all sounds like French to me. Just so you know, Kelly, I'm not a fantasy fan. I don't watch much fantasy stuff, I should say. All right, let's see. Let's put in a random vector. I rank it up there with Arcane in terms of value and quality. Nice. I only watched 2 episodes of Arcane. And I don't think I went back to it. It looks beautiful. Very, very beautiful. The geese had a lockstep legions of disciplined soldiers, but they were no match for dragons. Was this part of the books series? Okay, let's add in a texture here. GM, will this be a multi-part stream? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I like streaming geometry nodes, mostly because I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know if there's going to be a good end result. Usually when I stream my other stuff, I know that I can finish something at the end because I'm more well-versed in geometry nodes. So I don't know if I'm going to continue the stream. We'll see how I feel at the end of this stream. Because like I said, I don't think it's entertaining to watch me be silently doing geometry nodes and not be able to explain anything to you. It's just not helpful for anybody. But I'm doing it now as a test to see, since geometry nodes are popular and I'm just struggling through it. We will see if it's a multi-stream. Uh, because, yeah, this is not, I would say, I just don't feel like it's helpful. And I want to be helpful. You may not be a fantasy fan, but you're an artistic genius. Kelly, you gotta stop with the praise. No, don't do it. But thank you, I appreciate it. I just can't. I'm not a genius. I'm not. I'm not anything grand. Anyway, Jirash, good to see you. GM, watching you problem solve is good content. Well, thank you. Oh man, we're just gonna have to be fine with this right now. Let me just make a material for this real quick here. Yeah, but it's background history for the books and the show. It was never shown. The lore. The lore. Let's add a Musgrave texture here. We had a material, set material, set material. There we go. Let's take off the wireframe stuff. There we go. Let's go to rendered view. This obviously looks ugly. It's not what we want right now. They look like cows. Do a color ramp. This is just a placeholder material. Just for now. Let's see. We'll take off the shine. Well, the specular, I should say. Put the roughness up. Hey, Fred, I see you. Kelly says, geometry nodes are the future of procedural environments. Just so you know, Kelly, procedural stuff has existed for a long time. Houdini's a software that has done it for, they're like on version 18 or 19 now. So yeah, it's been the future for a very long time. The issue with Houdini and thus geometry nodes is the learning curve. Not a lot of people do it. So yes, like the games like Far Cry and I forget like some other ones, they use Houdini and they used procedural based environments to make their environments, put their trees and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely useful. Definitely the procedural part is very useful. Yeah, Fred says parametric editing, yes. And I think architects used to do it too. There used to be this software called Grasshopper, and I think architects use that to do like some like stuff, procedural building stuff. Jiraj, you do know if it's possible to offset the UVs for instances? Jiraj, I'm gonna say I think I've seen it. I don't know. Though. I'm looking for a way to have the planks on my bridge thing have materials with wood grooves that don't repeat. Oh, I think you've asked this before, and I think I've shown you before. I think you have to do it. Um. Oh, no, no, I know what you're saying. You have to do it. You have to in the material node. You have to put the. Hold on, I'm thinking the object info, and then you do. Or no, or is it geometry info? Hold on. Geometry info. You do a random per island, and you use this as a factor. So you either use this random or this island as a factor, and this will, it should randomize your rocks. Oh, actually, here, this is even better. I'm gonna send you somebody who does it in their thing right now. Default. I'm gonna send you the exact thing. Like timestamped and everything. That tells you how to do it within the materials. And then with the custom attribute, I think with the UVs and moving them, but you could move the UVs within the shader node. Do you not want to do it in the shader node? Is that not what you want to do? Because the way Default Cube does it, he does it in the shader node. And I think doing it like, unless you have something very specific to do with the UVs, I don't see why you want to do it. I mean, maybe you do, but that link should get you close to at least what you want to do. Oh, that will change the color. Okay, I sent you to change the color. Okay, so what you need to do is, like I said, so you know how you have the mapping, Jiraj? Do something where you take over the object info node, and then you shift the location with this random output that the object info node has. So make sure you do a combine XYZ, and then do a math. Let's see. Math, get a random, and then you can randomize the location of the planks here. So this should be the setup. Like, use a random, use a math, maybe use a multiply, do a combine on the location, and it should work. And if it doesn't, then yeah, I don't know, I'll have to look deeper into it. All right. Alright, let's go back. Actually, let me do it myself here. So this looks a little different. I guess this is okay, I'll check out the tutorial. I guess this is more of a subject for a longer discussion. Jiraj, all of geometry nodes is a subject for longer discussion. there's not a part in geometry nodes that isn't for longer discussion. Oh, Fred says that Default Cube also has a procedural wood video. You should check that out too. Maybe he covers it in there. Let's do an object info. Yeah, Default Cube has a lot of stuff. I'm watching it more, or I'm wanting it more or less. I'm needing, wanting. Alright, there we go. Add some variety in our materials here. Ferd, have you ever tried reading Steven Erikson's Malazan books of the Fallen? I finished the main 10 in Xmas time. It was a very interesting ride. By the way, are your instances realized? They are not. I like to keep up my performance, so they're not realized yet. They are not. Also, random from object info node works on unrealized instances too. Yeah, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I really should have paid more attention in school, metaphorically, not like teach us this at school. We all should have paid more attention. Alright. We'll save this guy for now. We'll go back to our geometry nodes. Canadian science fiction's resource guides on the web. Then pass it on to a friend of mine. Okay. Let's keep it moving. We'll call this city density. Alright, so the next thing I have here is a long road that goes along the path there. So what I will do is I'll just make something I can change procedurally eventually. So let's make another collection. We'll call this road. We got an Aurora Award nominations for Best Author category back in '98, I think it was. Got to meet some writers. Nice. I forget about all the awards that exist out there. It's not just movie awards. So let's make a mesh. This is just going to be a placeholder for now. I don't even know where this guy is. Okay, he's right there. We'll bring him over here. We will bring a new geometry. This geometry nodes. Let's call it something like city. And then we'll call this guy road. Alright, and we'll just do something simple that we've been doing before, which will be instancing on a mesh primitive, on a mesh line. Primitive line. We'll do it on the Y. We'll instance on points. Got the points there, and we will do object. We'll do collection info. We'll do road. We'll put that in here. Holy moly, what is this? Road. Where is the road? Where is my plane? It should be in here. Road. Let me take off the city right now. Just have the road going. Let me do a quick test here. This should be working. I don't understand what's happening. Alright, there's my cube. But if I put in the road here, it does not exist. What is this? This has an error. How do I look at this error? Collection contains current object. Oh, that's why. That is why. We will duplicate this road. We'll call this, put this under generator. We'll call this road. And we'll call this road part. .000. This should work now. And we'll take off the geometry nodes on here. There we go. Let's go back to our road. Bring down the counts. Separate it. Let's make this the correct size, or a good size, an even size. Let's do it 20 meters by 20 meters. So then when we go back to the road here, we could just separate it by 20 meters. That will make sense. Make sure to apply the scale there. Okay. Alright. I need to push it a little further back, so let's do transform. And we'll transform this guy back on the Y. There we go. We'll start right in the beginning. We don't need that many. And we don't need to see the road parts. I'm going to make a separate collection where it has all the parts. That's what we'll put in the road and the building parts, just so we don't have to see them. For right now, we will use a material node. So let's do a set material. The road's all janky. We're going to set that correctly, though. Let's take down the count. There we go, about 12 of them. Alright, and now we can go into road parts. Sit here and really finagle how big we want this. Let's change this camera to be something more respectable. Let's do like... let's do 1920 by 1080. Let's go to the camera and let's see about making this more of a wide. Got a wide lens in here. Let's do a 28. Let's get it in close. We're just setting up some bases here, right? That's what we're gonna do. Just for now. There we go. Oh, maybe we weren't. I could have swore my friend said so. Not finding the info on the award archives. Boo. The Saidu web thingy. Alright. We're just gonna call this buildings .000, and we'll call the road part let's make sure it doesn't have this moose grave here. Geometry nodes, road. It was 1998, huh? A good year. 2 years before the Y2K apocalypse. make a little line here. We'll spread it apart. Get the faces. Extrude. Scale a little more. There we go. Jiraj says, yeah, I think I actually somehow figured it out. You were right. It could be done with the object info random value, but the key was the thing I don't want to have realized instances on. Nice. I'm glad you figured it out. I'm sure it feels good. Feeling good. Nice. All right. We got buildings. All right, let's make a plane here. Alright, we'll bring it down just slightly. Just so it's not clipping with the road here. There you go. Oh wow, is this still clipping? There we go. Let's add in a material here. We'll just call it dirt. Alright, as for the background, let's actually fix the background. Let's not make it an HDRI for right now. Let's bring it back so it's visible. Let's just make it a gradient. A gradient. Let's add in a gradient. Put in the ramp. I'm sorry, color gradients. Put that in there. Rotate on the 90. Bring it down on the X. Let's do some typical colors here. There you go. Maybe some blue. Let's make it bright again. What if we flip these? What if we did it so the light doesn't affect the objects? I know I always do this, but what if, though? What if, you know? That's how the world runs, on what ifs. What if we can be on the moon? What if we could put a satellite around the moon? What if? freaking weird though. That's what it is. Like it logically doesn't make sense. Let's color the light a little blue. Maybe actually warm. Oh my goodness. Problem solving hurts my brain. For everybody out there watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. There's some greenery and stuff in here. GM, do you think you'll be doing an in-depth linking and instancing scene at some point in the near future? Looks pretty diverse. Good stuff. Do you think you'll be doing an in-depth linking and instancing scene video at some point in the near future? Yes. So, just so you know, I've been like working on the Patreon and all that stuff. So I did the Patreon, so that's finally launched. My next video that I want to do is going to be going through that. I think what my issue, not my issue is, but what the challenge I find is that since I haven't worked on a very large project, like a super large project, sometimes it's hard to figure out like where to start. But yes, I could definitely go through. I'm definitely gonna make a tutorial. I think the next video I'm gonna post is gonna be about linking and instancing and all that stuff. And yeah. Do you want to, when it comes to instancing, you're not going to use like the VSC, right? You're not going to use oh yeah, I could use it. I will, you know what, that's what I'll do. I'll use the lab as for it. You're not going to use the VSC, right? So you just want to know what the proper, instancing and optimizing stuff for like a big project and stuff. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to be making that next. It's probably going to start, I have like some like normal work, day job work, by the end of this week. So I'm going to be starting that next week. So probably next Wednesday is when that video will come out. Wednesday, make the video, do the thing. Yeah, so I think seeing the VSC stuff could still be good, but yeah, it's mainly the instancing and linking stuff to keep everything light. Okay, cool. Honestly, that not thinking about the VSC stuff is much better. It'll make the linking and all that stuff much easier to explain using that stuff. So yes, probably next Wednesday. You'll get a notification on it. A master scene, etc. Cool, cheers. Yeah, so it would be like, so I guess what I'll go over is like having like a master scene, having like if you have lights, a bunch of lights that have like, and this is like such small fries, right? But if you have a bunch of lights that essentially have to be the same temperature and the same power, those can be linked duplicates. If you have like a rock that all you're doing is squashing and stretching, those can be linked duplicates. If you have a very complex hero object, you can have that in a different scene. But yeah, I'll go over it. I'm excited to get that one now. I feel like that one's going to be very useful. Alright, let's get this giant pyramid over here. Should we do it in geometry nodes, or should we just make a period without geometry nodes? That is the question. Let's do it in geometry nodes for fun. Kelly, you're so supportive. Road generator. There you go. Ground. Okay. So let's make this pyramid over here. Also, city generator .000. There we go. Do that. Let's go to our geometry nodes. Alright, let's make another one. Give him another one. Okay. Let's see. We got some mesh primitives over here. Let's see what we got. We could use a cone, right? Where's that cone? There he is. Move him to across here. Alright, let's see. This guy is definitely a four-sided pyramid. There he is. Let's see if we can make him big. Super big. Alright, let's bring this guy close to the camera. And he's facing in a weird way, so let's rotate him. That should be easy, right? There should be like a rotate. A rotate? It's under set position, isn't it? We'll do it under set position. Is the scene done to scale? I finally had it beaten into me to actually make shit in the right size. Oh man, you know what's funny? I haven't even thought about it. Let's see how tall this stuff is. Good catch. So these buildings are about 2 meters, 3 meters. How tall is like a floor? Is it like, it's like 3 meters, right? So I can make these a little taller. Let's see. But yeah, I think roughly. They're roughly to the size. Maybe not. Spitfire, how was it? Spitfire, how was it beat into you? Did you have something that it affected you? Did something happen? You know, what finally taught you the lesson? When I blocked out the Crimson Vow scene, I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up with characters that were 30 centimeters tall, and the depth of field and volume stuff was fucked. So yeah, that was enough. Never mind. And grease pencil behaves badly on small scales. Yes. Yes. That's the lesson. That's how you learn the lessons, Spitfire. That's how you do it. That's how I learned all my lessons. I keep multiple versions because one time I had a project crash and I had to recover it in a very complicated way. I name all my layers because I've gotten projects given to me where they wanted a fast turnaround and they didn't name all their layers. I try to optimize a lot because one time a project took me 3 or 4 times as long just because I had to deal with stuttering. So basically, lessons are learned through pain and blood and hardship. Anyway, that's great. It's great though. Yes, I definitely think about scale. When I was making the sci-fi laboratory scene, that's all to scale. That's why I had that little guy in there for my scale, because it really helps out. I usually like to put a little human in there. Helps out through and through. It's fine if all your characters are Smurfs. That's funny. When it comes to doorways, they should be modeled a tad larger than real world scales. I could see that. On account for looking better for renders for some reason. No, it's definitely that optical illusion. If you ever looked up into design, like if you ever look at fonts, the or like a circular icon, the circular icon will always be a little bit bigger than if it was square. Like the tops, the bottoms, the lefts, or the right of the circle will stick out of the square, and that's just because like the way our eyes work and how we view it and stuff. Like if it's exactly the same, if the circle's exactly the same size as the square, it'll still look smaller. So that's why they're always made a little bigger, and I always found that pretty interesting. By the way, if you want dumb questions, queries from your potential audience, me, about the whole scene linking thing, let me know. The stupid questions might give you good prompts. Yes, they're not, and I don't think they're gonna be stupid questions. This is a very complicated program. um, but yes, I would definitely let you know. And honestly, any hiccup that you go, please send me it. Send me it. It helps me so much to tailor this stuff to somebody. So, very good. Very, very good. Grease Monkey gonna hit 100K subs in the next year. I would hope so, Kelly. I would hope so. I gotta get more I gotta get more consistent on my uploading. But hopefully. And I think Doris 2 meters is the real world scale standard. I think it is. Oh, or unless you're telling me, then yes, thank you for telling me. Okay, what was I doing? Okay, so we're making this thing go. All right, we got a cube. This thing has like a gap in between. Let's use a bool, huh? Mesh boolean. Can we use a cube? Actually, where is our cube? There he is. So let's stretch this guy out. Let's also transform this guy. We'll just scale him up here. Alright, let's see if the bool works. Look at that. The bool tool coming in clutch. Okay, so it's a little bigger. Let's make it bigger. How do you spell pyramid? How do you spell pyramid? Here it is. I'm gonna look it up. Nobody tell me. Pyramid. All right. Pyras are straight mids. Okay, got it. Got it. Pyramids. Thank you, Ferd. Thank you. Alright, let's set the material here. And let's just make this something silly. Something silly. Let's delete this. And let's add a texture-oonie. A texture. And by the texture, I just mean a brick texture. And we're going to mix and match it in a color mix node. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna color the mixy and the matchy. Look at how silly that looks. Oh no, why is the ground this color? It should be dirt. There. Anyone playing Elden Ring? Unfortunately, I am not. But that's only because I have a lot of other games to play. But I hear it's good. I read the story. Well, not read it, but I watched a video that explained the story. So I can kind of keep up with the conversation. I'm reinvesting in Valheim. What's up with that game? Jiraj, what's up with that game is that everybody loves it. It apparently is a good game. It opened up the Dark Souls meta to a wider audience. It doesn't treat you like a dummy. And a lot of people like fantasy. But yeah, it's a very popular game. Is there a way to do UV maps? Spitfire, you ever heard of Valheim? It's like I think Ferd will probably describe it better, but it's a survival game that is like Minecraft, but not like Minecraft like blocky. It's never mind. I'm probably making it sound worse. Ferd, please explain to him. Because I was not doing a good job there. Okay, is there any way to fix these normals, these UVs here? Fudge. Fudge-em-a-crackers. Yes, it's a survival exploration game. How am I going to... Mother... Okay. Maybe we'll do object. We'll put normals. Textures. What is wrong with these textures? It's the most immersive exploration game I have ever played. Testimony from Verd. Huh. This UV stuff on the block here, I don't know how to deal with UVs and geometry nodes. It's a little confusing. Is there like a... Is there a box? Is there a projection? Fudge. Hmm. How are UVs dealt with booleans and geometry nodes? Conflab it. Like if I did something where I added a UV map. Kelly, is this your toon shader? It is not, Kelly. It is not. We're not using the toon shader yet. The toon shader is for the end. It's for the end. So when I finish, once I figure out all the different objects and stuff, that's when I start worrying about materials. I don't worry about materials in the beginning of this stuff because that's just me rendering before I even know my layout and my blocking. So it's good to leave that till the end. This is just temporary materials for the building of this. Example, I'm using this texture here, and yeah, this UV map is not working correctly, and I'm not sure how to use UVs with a boolean in geometry nodes. We're at 4 levels of extraction into this, and I'm not sure. So I'm just trying to, what I'm doing right now is I'm figuring out if there's any options for me for UVs. You know, like, can I do a box projection with my UVs that are being newly created here? Like if we look at the, let's see, if we look at the spreadsheet, do I have UVs here? No, we got normals. Yeah, we got UV map, but it's under face corner. Like I'm not even sure how to use that. Face corner. Maybe something in materials. Let's see. Replace material. Material index. Material selection. Set material. Let's see, if I put an integer into the material, does it help me in any way, shape, or form? It does not. The game does have progression, but it's very freeform on how you get it done. Nice. I gotta check out that game too. There's so many games to test out. Alright, let's keep going. We're gonna leave that like that for now, as a sign of my failure. Let's get this ground, and we're gonna bring it out further. We'll get this ground, and we'll bring this out further. Like that. Alright. Let's duplicate this city generator and place it somewhere else. We'll duplicate it. We'll call this one city.000. And we will duplicate that geometry node since we're gonna change it. Alright. We're going to duplicate this guy. We'll move him off to the distance. And we'll type in pyramid.000. We'll also call it the same thing for this geometry node. And we'll do a duplicate here. So we have two. And we'll call it pyramid. Pyramid 1. 0001. Blah, blah, blah. And then we will change the size of this one. We're not going to use the Boolean. We're just going to make it a normal pyramid over here. So let's just cut that off. Alright, we'll grab this guy. We'll bring him over here. We're also going to bring our camera up. Right about here. Maybe we'll make it smaller. Duplicate this pyramid, duplicate the geometry node, same thing. Actually, we're gonna unduplicate that. We're gonna duplicate this guy. That's the guy we'll do. Because that one is cut off in the distance. Duplicate this. You guys follow Blender Secrets? Yes, Blender Secrets is great. The ebook gets updated frequently. Yes. Love some Blender Secrets. The might of this lives again. The might. Okay, let's duplicate this generator. We'll move it along this path here. We're also gonna squish this guy. Oops, duplicate. Squish this guy. It's worth it, in my opinion. The ebook, yes. This is such a valuable lesson in learning the workflow. I gotta go. Catch you again, all again. See you, Spitfire. Take care. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Me too. It was nice seeing you guys. Thanks for helping me solve my material mapping mystery. See you guys. Jiraj, take care. Thanks for stopping by as well. I appreciate you. As always. As always. Alright, let's see if we can make these pillars up here. I'm not going to use geometry nodes for this. We're just going to model it. Because I'm flustered. Alright, we'll keep it. Keeping on. Extrude, scale. We're gonna hit Alt D, and that's how we'll duplicate it. We'll duplicate, we'll move it onto the X. Now whatever we do to this guy, it will do the same for both. Good stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's get this guy up. Because there should be like a cube underneath. Cursor to selected. We'll just add in a cube. Pillar and pillar. Move this to other. There we go. Put this into pyramids. Okay. Pyramids. Make a mesh here. Alright, we'll model this out. And I keep screwing this up. What the hell? up here. Right. I feel like I'm watching season 6 of Game of Thrones again. Isn't that season like in pure darkness or something? So should I turn off the lights? All this pyramid stuff reminds me to ask you if you watched the first episode of Moon Knight premiered yesterday at Disney Plus. I have not watched it. No. Is it good? Did it deliver? Did Mr. Isaac deliver? Did Mr. Oscar and Isaac deliver? Nice. Yeah, we'll see about watching it. I have a little bit of superhero fatigue. Like I'm kind of tired of superheroes. Not that they're bad. Not that I think they're bad or any of the movies are bad. I'm just like, there's so much superheroes. I'm gonna keep watching. I don't know anything about Moon Knight. I have one of their comic book, one of his comic books. But hey, I don't know anything about him either. How about sci-fi? I'm gonna dive into season 2 of Raised by Wolves. Oh, I was told to watch that, so yeah, I think I'll be watching that. I haven't watched it at all. I spend so much time either doing Blender stuff or drawing because I'm trying to get better at drawing, and then split that within video games. It's hard to fit it in sometimes. But yeah, many of my friends recommended me that one, so I think I will try that one out. Yeah. So little hours in the day. The days keep getting shorter. I've also been mulling all the idea to watching Battlestar Galactica remake. My friend watches Battlestar Galactica like every year. Classic, I've heard. 2004 reboot. Warhala, hi, hello. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Alright, I think I'm going to call this stream right now. So, Warhala, I know you just came, but thank you for stopping by. Ferd, Kelly, Spitfire's not here anymore. Jiraj was here. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Calling it here. This is done. I'm getting tired. I will catch you, Ferd, next week or in the chats of Discord. Everybody else watching, I appreciate you watching. Take care. Hope everyone has a great day. That worked out well. It worked out pretty well. Yeah. It's looking pretty decent. After I have the feeling now that after I just finish it, I'm like, oh man, I want to redo it because there's different things I'd rather approach, but it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's good for what it is. In this particular angle, there's a lot of empty space, but you know, it works out. Definitely works out. All right. Good night, everyone, or good evening, or good morning. Thank you, Ferd. I do appreciate the good words. It makes me feel good. Makes me second guess myself a little less. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.